You've been in China a few months. You're tired of waiting for Didi. You've found the perfect weekend road trip. Maybe you're even ready to buy your first car. Then someone asks one simple question. Do you have a Chinese driver's license? You confidently pull out your international driving permit, the one that's worked in over 100 countries. China doesn't recognize it. Not partially. Not temporarily. Not at all. Your road trip is over before it started. Here's the good news. Getting a Chinese driver's license in 2026 is genuinely easier than almost anyone expects. And if you're just visiting, you can sometimes walk out of the airport with a legal permit in under an hour. I'm Joe Noguera. Welcome back to the Middle Kingdom Code. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which path applies to you, the one rule that quietly disqualifies more applicants than every exam combined, and how to avoid wasting weeks on a preventable mistake. Let's go. The biggest myth. Let's kill this first, because it trips up more people than anything else in this video. China has not signed the international convention that makes IDPs valid worldwide. That means every foreign driver, no matter how many countries your home license works in, needs one of two things: a temporary driving permit or a full Chinese driver's license. Which one you need depends almost entirely on one factor: how long you're staying. Option 1. The temporary driving permit. If you're here for tourism, business, or any short-term stay, this is your route. And 2026 brought a real improvement. Beijing Capital Airport Terminal 3, Beijing Daxing Airport, and Shanghai's Pudong and Hongqiao airports now have dedicated vehicle management offices right inside the terminal. One traveler documented the entire process at Pudong, taking about 40 minutes. Submit your documents, watch a mandatory 15-minute road safety video, pay a 10 yuan fee, and walk out with a legal permit. If your airport doesn't offer this, and most still don't, so check before you fly, you simply visit the nearest city vehicle management office after arriving. Same process, just not inside the terminal. Your permit's validity is tied directly to your visa. A 90-day visa gets you a 90-day permit. Here's the part most guides skip. Even if the physical permit says 90 days, your driving authorization ends the moment your legal stay does, not when the permit expires on paper. Some applicants have successfully requested extensions matching a longer visa, up to a full year, but this varies by city, so confirm it locally. One restriction worth knowing: this permit only covers rental vehicles. You can't drive a friend's car or buy one with a temporary permit. For that, you need the next option. Option 2. The full Chinese driver's license. If you're here on a work visa, studying, or holding a residence permit, you'll likely want the full license, no expiration cycle, no renewal every few months, and it's required if you're buying a car. This process is called a license exchange. Instead of learning to drive from zero, China recognizes the experience you already have, provided you can prove two specific things. And this is where most online guides get sloppy, so let's be precise. The rule that stops most foreigners: before you book a medical exam, before you touch a translation service, answer this question. Where and for how long did you actually live when you got your driver's license? Here's the real rule, stated correctly. If you hold a valid foreign license, but resided in the country that issued it for less than 90 days within 1 year of getting it, China will not let you do a direct exchange. You'll instead need to complete the full theory and practical exams, just like a first-time applicant. This exists for an obvious reason: to stop people from taking quick license vacations to countries with easy tests, then exchanging that license in China for one they never really earned through experience. There's a second residency requirement that's just as important and far less discussed. You generally need to have stayed in China itself for more than 3 months before you're eligible to formally apply for the exchange at all. 2 different 90-day clocks, one for the country that issued your original license, one for your time in China. Mixing these up is exactly how people show up with the wrong paperwork. Check your passport stamps now, before you do anything else. Confirm both clocks are satisfied. If they're not, it doesn't mean you're locked out. It just means you're on the standard licensing path with exams, not the fast exchange. Your document checklist. Picture this. You've taken the morning off work. Waited your turn. Your number comes up. The officer flips through your folder, pauses, looks up and says, You're missing one document. Application over. Let's make sure that's not you. Document 1, your passport. Valid with room to spare. If it's close to expiring, renew first. Document 2, your full foreign driver's license. Not a learner's permit, not provisional. If it's not in Chinese, you need a certified translation, and this is a real trap. A translation from a friend, your employer, or yourself generally will not be accepted. It has to come from an authorized translation agency, often stamped with their official seal. Document 3, proof of legal status. Your valid visa or residence permit. If you're a permanent resident, your foreigner's permanent resident ID card covers this. Document 4, your accommodation registration certificate. Every foreign resident must register their address with local police after arriving. This catches an enormous number of applicants who focus entirely on the license itself and forget this exists. If you've moved recently, make sure it reflects your current address. Document 5, your medical exam. Quick, simple, and inexpensive. Vision, color blindness, basic hearing, general fitness. Many vehicle management offices now have self-service medical machines on site, so this often takes just a few minutes. Document 6, photos. 2 to 3 recent passport-style photos, white background. Most offices have a photo booth if you forget, but bring your own if you want to finish everything in one visit. One more, your entry and exit records. Remember the dual 90-day rule? This is exactly how you prove it. Have it ready before they ask. Can you skip the driving test? Here's the question almost every foreigner asks me first. The answer? Maybe. And it's one of the more pleasant surprises in this whole process. China has signed mutual recognition agreements with a handful of countries, and if your license comes from one of them, you can exchange it without taking any exam at all. As of 2026, that list includes Belgium, France, Serbia, and the United Arab Emirates. These agreements do shift over time, so always confirm directly with your local vehicle management office before you start the process. If your country isn't on that list, you're not in trouble. You'll just need to pass one exam. Subject 1. That's it. No parking test, no emergency stop, no examiner sitting beside you in traffic. For the vast majority of people exchanging a standard passenger license, Subject 1 is the entire requirement. Subject 1 explained. Subject 1 is a computer-based theory test. 100 multiple-choice questions covering road signs, traffic signals, speed limits, right-of-way, and emergency procedures. Most cities offer it in English, and some offer it in over a dozen languages including French, Russian, Japanese, German, Korean, and Arabic. The pass mark is 90 out of 100. That sounds intimidating, but the questions come from a known, public question bank. A popular study tool among foreigners is Jia Cao Bao Dian, packed with thousands of practice questions in the exact style of the real exam. A few evenings of focused practice makes a real difference. Here's the honest truth about why people fail. It's rarely because the questions are hard. It's because experienced drivers assume years behind the wheel are enough. They're not. This test isn't measuring how well you drive. It's measuring whether you know Chinese-specific traffic law. Treat it like any certification exam. Study, practice, review your mistakes, repeat. If you fail, you typically get a second attempt within the same appointment before needing to pay and reschedule. What about the other 3 exams? This is where a lot of online guides get confusing. You'll see references to 4 total subjects: the practical skills test, the on-road exam, and a second theory test on defensive driving. If you're a complete first-time applicant with no foreign license, yes, all 4 apply. And the full process typically runs 2-3 months and several thousand yuan. But if you're exchanging a valid foreign license, you generally only need Subject 1. That's the core advantage of the exchange process. China is recognizing the driving experience you already have and simply confirming you understand local rules. What this actually costs, the number that surprises most people, it's cheap. Far cheaper than a single month of Didi rides. A temporary driving permit typically runs around 300 to 400 RMB total once you account for translation, fees, and photos. Sometimes as little as 10 RMB at the office itself if your translation is already sorted. A full license exchange, if you only need subject 1, generally lands in the 450–750 RMB range, covering the exam fee and license issuance. If you somehow need every additional exam, you're still typically looking at a few hundred yuan, not thousands. That range applies only to complete first-time applicants without a foreign license, where driving school becomes mandatory. What the day actually looks like. Gather everything first: passport, license, certified translation, accommodation registration, medical certificate, photos, entry-exit records if needed. Double-check before you leave home. Most rejections happen over missing paperwork, not failed exams. Head to your vehicle management office or the airport counter if you're going the temporary permit route and it's available. Submit your documents. If everything checks out, you pay the fee. If a theory test is required, you usually take it on a computer right there. Pass, and in many cities you walk out holding your license the same day. Officially, processing can take up to 20 working days, but plenty of offices move much faster than that in practice. 5 mistakes that derail applications. 1. Trying to drive on an international driving permit alone. China doesn't recognize it. Full stop. 2. Using an unofficial translation. Friend, employer, yourself, none of it counts. Use an authorized agency from day 1. 3. Forgetting your accommodation registration certificate. This alone stops more applications than any exam. 4. Ignoring the dual 90-day rule, both the residency clock in your home country and the residency clock here in China. A 5-minute passport check today saves weeks later. 5. Wrong photos. Bring proper white background passport photos or use the booth on site. Final thoughts. A lot of foreigners assume this process is buried in bureaucracy. Once you know the actual rules, not the outdated version still floating around forums, it's remarkably straightforward. That's the entire point of this channel. Not just answering questions. Removing the uncertainty that makes moving to a new country harder than it needs to be. If this helped you, subscribe. Not for this one video, but because we're building the most complete current library in English for living, working, and driving in China. WeChat, banking, apartments, visas, jobs, daily life, all of it. And if you know someone heading down this exact road, send them this video. It might save them weeks. I'm Joe Noguera. This is the Middle Kingdom Code. Drive safely. I'll see you in the next one.